Hello, here's a tutorial for System of a Down's Chop Suey. So the intro has 4 chords in the chord progression: G minor, C diminished, D minor and C minor. So it sounds like this. So G minor is first fret of the first string, third fret of the second, second fret of the third, and then C diminished is a bar at the third like you would for a C minor, but if you put your third finger on the 5th fret of the second string, and I'm only playing the first 3 strings to make it easier. Then D minor, which is open first, first fret of the second string, and then 2nd fret for the 3rd and 4th, and then up to C minor, which is a bar, and over the 1st, 2nd and 3rd, and the 5th fret of the 4th string. So going through that chord progression again: G minor, C diminished, D minor, C minor. And the strumming pattern sounds, well, my interpretation, something like this. Yeah, I forgot to mention, from the G minor to the C diminished, if you use the 3rd finger as a kind of anchor, you're sliding that up and then putting a bar on the 3rd fret. So the slide happens slightly before the kind of 2nd beat. And 2nd bar, and then D minor, C minor. Okay, so that pattern continues for 4 bars, or, well, repeats. 4 bars repeat 4 times. So the intro kind of builds up. So I think you could imagine there's one instrument playing these 4 bars 4 times. But in the 2nd set of 4 bars, there's a kind of picking out the notes of these chords, which sounds like this. So this is really just using the same shapes as we've just strummed, but picking out the 1st and the 2nd strings, and I'm playing the 4th string as well. So I'm playing the 1st and the 4th string, and then the 2nd string, and then repeating the 1st and the 4th. So something like, and then the same thing sliding up to the C diminished, and same with the D minor, and then the 2nd and the 3rd string for the C minor. So that repeats, that's the 2nd repeat of the chord progression. For the 3rd and 4th repeats of the chord progression, you can play first 2 strings strummed really quickly, sounding something like this. Okay, so this is the same shape as before. The G minor shape, but you're just playing the first two strings. And one way of doing it is to kind of play like you've got a plectrum, but use your finger. And then slide that up. Then it's the 5th and the 5th fret of the first string, 6th fret of the second string. And then the 6th fret of the first string and the 8th of the second. And slide this same shape down 2 frets to the 4th and the 6th. No, sorry, the 3rd and the 5th. And then up to the 6th and the 8th. And I've written out these the tab for this there's a link in the description. So again, it's the 1st and the 3rd up to the 3rd and the 5th. 0, yeah. Open and 1st fret of the second string. Then the only time it changes is the 5th and the 6th on the 1st and 2nd string. Then up to the 6th and the 8th. Yeah, move down 3. Okay, so that's the intro. The second part of the intro sounds like this. Repeats. So we've got one shape which starts with the 5th fret of the first string, 3rd fret of the second, and 2nd fret of the 3rd. That's a power chord, ukulele power chord, and you can move this shape any way you like. And in this case, we need to move it from, if you use the first finger as your kind of anchor point, it's the first finger on the 3rd string is going to start on the 2nd fret, then it's going to move to the 1st fret, and then the 4th, and then the 7th, and everything else stays in the same shape. And that just repeats. I had to practice that quite a bit to get the hang of it. Okay. So the next section is kind of pre-chorus. It uses the same chord progression, but if you like, you can play a kind of arpeggio where you're picking out the notes of the chords. So to do this, I've got the G minor shape, and then I've got a thumb on the 4th finger and one string per other finger, and then I'm playing the 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, and then the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 2nd. So it's really just trying to keep one string per finger or thumb and just moving up. And the same idea, move up to the C diminished. And same pattern with the D minor. Now for the C minor, one thing you can do is instead of doing the shape with the 5th and the 4th string, just play the first 3 strings and play a kind of part of the melody, the 6th fret on the 2nd string, the 5th, the 3rd, and then the 5th fret of the 3rd string. Sounds like this. The only other variation is at the very end, and if I'm listening to it correctly, the chord progression changes. Instead of going C or G minor, C diminished, D minor, C minor, the D minor changes to a B flat. So I think where the lyrics are trust in myself righteous, it goes from G minor, C minor, B flat, C minor. This is all written out in the notes, and that's it. Good luck.